Hey guys, today I want to talk a little bit about spectral synthesis, and to do that I'm using Iris2, which is a synth made by Isotope. If you don't have Iris2, you can also use Alchemy if you're in Logic, which also has a spectral editor, and the technique is going to be sort of the same, or at least the basic approach is going to be the same. In Alchemy we find it by opening it, and then normally you land on this page, and then you go to edit, and then you go to spectral here. And right now I've imported an image here. Normally it would look like this, and there are two things you can do here. You can import an image here, or you can open a sound here, import audio, and then choose the spectral mode. So if I choose a file here, that one for example, it's going to analyze the file, and then it's also going to give you some spectral information. So the idea with spectral synthesis is that you now have sort of a different overview of the sound. So in a normal waveform you can only see the loudness, so the volume of the file. But with a spectral overview we get the loudness, which is showed in brightness. So wider colors are louder and darker colors are softer. But you also have the frequency from the bottom of the window to the top. So it gives you just more information about the audio file. And right now I imported an ambience loop right here, which if I play just one note, sounds like this. It's basically noise. But for this example I'll import a guitar loop. Some of my own really bad guitar playing, but I think we'll be able to make some cool sounds out of this. So the power from spectral synthesis comes mainly from the filters, because we have these drawing tools here on the left side, and I can zoom a little bit to a specific section using this bar at the top. So I'll zoom to right there, looks good. Now what we can do is we can create sort of sections that we want to hear and mute everything else. So if I do this for example, you can see that everything is grayed out except this very small section, meaning that it's only going to allow this part of the sound through. So we've now created a very narrow bandpass filter only in these high frequencies. Now the next thing I need to do is set the offset so that the play bar starts where we want it, and we can make a loop. I'll set the loop start right there, and the loop end there is fine. So there we hear our very narrow bandpass filter, and we can add another filter by taking out another section here. So right off the start we get pretty cool sounds with this. Now the pitch is going to be controlled as with all audio files. If you play them back faster, the pitch is going to be higher. If you play them back slower, the pitch is going to be lower. That's how audio works. So if you have a tape and you play it back faster, then you will hear the pitch go up, right? And that's because that doesn't change the quality of the sound. That's just the way it works. If you want the pitch to change but you want the sound to have the same length, you're gonna have to use some sort of special processing like Ableton has with the warp modes that don't change the pitch but they do change the tempo. In Iris we have one mode for that, which is called Radius RT. So now it's gonna try to leave the speed as is, but still gonna allow you to change the tuning. And then we have one last mode here, which is fixed, and this is not gonna listen to the MIDI input, so it's gonna just listen to what you set here. So I normally like one of the Radius RTs or the resample mode. So let's choose the basic resample mode right now and import some more notes in my MIDI region. So now I'm playing a different note, an octave apart, and as you can see then when we play it, we get two play markers, one for the first note and one for the second. So we get a more advanced sound being at 2 positions at the same time in our audio file. Then we can set the playback mode to forwards, backwards, and then we get even more complex sounds because it's also playing backwards to the sample. And this is just using one source with very basic sound editing, and we only change the pitch. If you go to the all page on the top right here, we can see that we have 4 sources. Right now we have a sample in the first one, but we still have the second, the third, and the fourth source. We also have a very cool modulation system right here with 5 LFOs, 5 envelopes, and some MIDI controllers. And then we have a mix or master page with some send effects and master effects. So this all looks pretty overwhelming, but I found that it's actually one of the easier synths that I've used lately. It's very intuitive, and it instantly sounds good, and it's very clear the way it works. So we have 2 options for our master effects. We can set them on send and on master. I'm just going to use master for now, which means that they're going to be applied to all the sources and use a little bit of reverb on this sound. Now then, for the modulation part of this, what we can do is very similar to Massive. We select a modulator, and then we have this sort of cross arrow thing here. I always forget the name, and we can drag that to a destination that we want. So we can drag it to the course, which is going to be the tuning, and then we can set the depth right here. And you can see this arc changing, also similar to Massive and Alchemy. And we can change the depth on the LFO itself. So right now we should get some fairly aggressive pitch modulation. Of course, we can change the waveform to be a square. And this is easier to hear if we only have one note, so I'll mute one MIDI note, and then we get only one playback again. So that's of course a bit extreme, and we can clear this again. We can do the same thing, but then apply it to the fine tuning, so we get sort of a vibrato effect. So again, we take that crosshair thing, set it to the fine tuning, then we'll choose a sine LFO, analog sine. We give it some attack, so that the modulation gradually fades in. We set the rate to about 6 or 7, which is great for vibrato effects. And lastly, we change the depth right here to be less extreme. Around there, it should be fine. So that's for the LFOs, and the envelopes, they work the same way. You can select one, and we can, right now, we can set one to the panning, which is a bit weird, but we can do that, and invert it. And drag the sustain down, so now it should go to the left at the beginning of the file. We could also set one on the gain and have it arranged into the negative side, so it's gonna use this envelope together with the master envelope. So this would be cool to give it a long attack and almost no decay, so we get the first hit of the master envelope, then it's gonna fade it down, and then it's gonna instantly sound again. And then we have some controllers here like key tracking, which will listen to the inputted pitch, and mod wheel, aftertouch, and our familiar velocity. And we have a whole macro system, which I'm not going to go into right now, but it's a very handy way of quickly editing multiple files. So I'll just leave you with a few sound design examples. I'm going to stop talking now and just do some stuff, and I'll see you for a next video. Thanks for watching, guys.